Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Mobile Weekly / Mobile Q&A. We go over all latest news that happened during the week of mobile and tech and answer your questions live. If you have a question you want to ask, just ask it in the comment section down below and I will answer it before the end of the show. Now, we are having a special episode here today, guys, because this is the very last episode that will take place in this studio. I am moving as of next weekend, and next weekend I will no longer have internet here, and I won't have internet in my new place, so we will not be doing one next Sunday because I will be basically fully moved in by then to the new place. But the good thing is that all the choppiness, all the issues we've had with internet in the past should go away from that was in this studio. I did have Spectrum, and it really is one thing that I can't say enough of is Spectrum probably has the worst upload speed of any internet provider in Southern California. So I am so happy to say that I am getting Frontier next year in the next house, which is going to give me gigabit speed up and down. So yeah, there will be no more issues. My uploads will be so much faster. I had Frontier in the last studio, in the last place I lived. It was great, although that was 75 up and down. They have really upped their game, especially in this new area that I'm moving to. So very, very happy about that. So just want to let you know that is we will not have a Mobile Weekly next week, but in 2 weeks we will be taking place in a brand new studio, and I can't wait. I really can't. It's just going to be so much better. A lot of things planned for it. It might not look perfect starting off, but it will look great. All right, so let's get to the news because we do have a bit of really interesting news. So first of all, Google I/O is this week, and on the 11th, which is Wednesday, do plan on doing something. Make sure to follow me on social media at YouTube Tech Guy. I'm available on both TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. So follow me there. I will be posting a few things, so follow there to see all the latest and greatest. I will most likely be going to a Google Pixel event in Los Angeles, so hopefully we get to see whatever is talked about there. Network maybe a little, maybe be on some other people's social media as well, maybe make some collabs, who knows, but very, very excited to see what happens for sure. So that being said, we do have some things coming out now. So one of the first things is the Moto Razr. Now we have seen 2 generations of this phone, and the third one looks like it's going through some changes. It's going to have an even bigger screen than before, and instead of just 1 camera, it looks like we're getting 2. So this is kind of an interesting design. I will say it is departing what, the nostalgia factor I would say that we are kind of getting overall with it. So that is just one thing that I noticed that hopefully we will have a little bit better coming forward, but I just don't know. I will say that the nostalgia factor didn't help sell it, right? Like it wasn't sold enough to really warrant anything combating. But the biggest thing that you have to ask is, what will the price point be of this one in comparison to Samsung's phone? Because the Galaxy Z Flip 3 was $999. So if this comes in at a higher price, which the last Razr was, I believe, at either $1499 or $1399, around there. So if it comes anywhere near that price, it's just not going to sell. So I'm very curious what we're going to get, how we're going to have this happen. Let me know your guys' thoughts and what price point do you think this phone should come in at, because I honestly think it has to come in at 1,000 or else it will not sell. A recommendation would be if they could possibly get it to even $949, $899. I think then it has a really good shot. But if it's over $1,000, I say this as a person that loved Motorola phones back in the day, I wouldn't even put it out. I wouldn't even put it out. I would, you know, refine the things that I can do. Not to mention that I really truly do believe that this will happen in the next 2 years. I believe as the nostalgia on this phone starts to go away, I truly do believe the next thing we could see from Motorola is the return of the Droid series. Now, I don't know if they can even do that because of the deal they used to have with Star Wars at the time when that original phone came out. But if this starts to fade away, I see that as one major play that Moto can still do, and I think they would do well. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section on what price you think this should be, and also what do you think this phone really needs in order to sell. Okay, a big thing just leaked, talking about Google I/O and on Wednesday about all their new features. One thing that has plagued Google TV since it's come out is its limitation on the amount of users. It looks like that is going away. And sure enough, who do we have to thank for leaking this? Amazon. Amazon switched the current Google TV, so the current one that has been sold for the past 2 years, has switched it to pre-order instead of just being able to order it, and has shown a new feature that we never had before, and we've never had in Google TV before, and that is user profiles. So that is really big because, I mean, that is one thing that I know I have wanted for a long time. I would love to just sign into my account, have all of my stuff available to me. That would be a much better experience. My wife can sign into her account, have all of her stuff available to me, instead of doing it at an app level, because that's what happens right now, right? Okay, I sign into Google TV. I go to Peacock and like, wait, why are these shows here? Oh, I'm under my wife's account. Oh, I'm under this one. Like, I would love to like start where I left off, and that would be so much better in my opinion. So I really would love to see that happen with this. And definitely I would think this is going to be so good, especially also for the kids section, just to kind of refine it so that I can set a global thing for what my kids can see, instead of, oh, I have to set this app up, set this app up, set this app up. It's just, oh, anything on this you can see, and I don't have to worry about it. That is such a great feature, and something I've been waiting for Google to have, especially with YouTube too. That's a big one too. Like, YouTube is something that it was just very annoying because on the Roku you could switch between YouTube accounts, but you really couldn't do that on Google TV. And this is just such a breath of fresh air. I cannot wait for this feature. And quite frankly, I do hope that we do get a new Chromecast too with better hardware, because the main thing that holds me back with the Chromecast right now is the hardware. The hardware is not as good as it could be, and it's something that I definitely really want. So very curious to see how to go. Let me know what you guys think. What is your favorite streaming device? Mine is Google TV when it works properly. So that's my big thing with it. All right, and then we have the Google Pixel 6a. Apparently, this is going to possibly be announced this Wednesday, but we should not expect to see it anytime too soon. It is most likely going to come out in June or July, apparently, with the release, but the production has started. So they're going to start to manufacture it. That takes at least a month. So I would say if it is going to come in June, it's probably going to be at the end of June to early to even possibly the end of July. But that is still quicker than we got the last one, which the last one we got around August. So I am excited to see what this has to offer. I don't know if we're going to get the Tensor processor in there, if we're going to get the same cameras that we had on the last generation A series, or are we going to get the new cameras that we had on the 6? Very curious to see where Google's going to go with this, but this is a phone that I think is for the masses, and it's easily one of the best phones out there. I think for anyone wanting a smartphone this year that doesn't want to spend over $500, this is almost one of the no-brainers that you should look at. Okay, now this one I am super excited for. So I became a somewhat of a fanboy when it came to my Sony headphones. I really love the quality of the M4s. I never say the whole name. If you want to know the whole name of my headphones, you know, it's blah 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 from Sony. So I just call them the M4s. But we are getting the new look at the M5s that are coming out, and these look so much better. These will most likely be the best over-ear headphones you can possibly get overall. And what do I mean by that? Well, I still think Bose is going to take the comfort part pretty much overall when it comes to that. Sony typically has a great sound quality that is usually better than most, if not all of them. And then you also have probably the best noise canceling, or similar to noise canceling to Bose. But I will say that I am testing out a pair of Jabras right now, and no one, and I mean no one this year, I expect to beat these on the mic when it comes to on-ear, over-ear headphones, because, well, they just have the best mic you can get. Period. So yeah, that review will be coming when the new studio is set up, and let me just say, Starbucks challenge couldn't handle it. And I mean that they crushed it. So yeah, it was really good, cool to see this new design and new look from the Sony. So I'm excited. I'm pretty much sold on these. Like, I'm definitely gonna buy them just because they look so awesome, and I cannot wait for just to see how good these quality really are. Let me know what you guys think, but this is a pair of headphones that I am just super psyched for. All right. Now, it's been a long time since I've talked about T-Mobile and the Uncarrier events, just simply because of the fact, I'll be honest, T-Mobile hasn't really done anything for a long time in the Uncarrier events to warrant any attention. But this changed that. T-Mobile did something called internet freedom over this past time, and it did 3 points, but the third one is by far the best thing ever that could happen to businesses in the US since, I don't know, like, it is just astronomically better like than so many things that has ever happened to small businesses. So the first two are, one, basically T-Mobile is going to let you try out their service for, I believe it was 15 or 14 days, and you can try out the service and see if you like it. 15 days, 15-day test drive. So that's cool, fine, sure, whatever. You can even get locked at a $50 monthly rate if your whole family gets on Magenta, which that's where it stops me, because my whole family wouldn't get on Magenta Max, which I do believe they required Magenta Max plans. Yeah, if you get on Magenta Max plans and have that plan for at least 2 years, then it will reduce your rate all the way down to $30, and it's locked. It will not go up. So that's a really cheap internet. However, that's really an expensive plan for a family to be on Magenta Max. For me, that would cost me over $200 more a month. So obviously that doesn't work for me. But I mean, if you have a family that it does work for, it's great. If you have 2 lines, it's probably the best thing ever. So I would really look into it. If you want really fast internet with Magenta Max and home internet, this is probably the best deal for you, especially if you only have like 2 lines. That sounds great. But the biggest thing, the bombshell, is that they will be going to businesses. So if you didn't know, if you are a business, especially a small business, because, you know, big businesses, whatever, if they need hyper fast speed internet, T1 lines, T3 lines, this doesn't really apply to them. But if you just wanted internet at a business, Oh my God, were you always getting screwed over? Like the same rate that AT&T would charge a home business or sorry, a home compared to a business for the same exact internet. You may be paying $50 at home to $300. Like it is astronomically always been a ripoff if you were a business, especially again a small business, right? If you were a small business, this was always a big ripoff because it's the same internet, it's the same exact thing, and you are paying 10 times sometimes the cost of regular internet just because you are in a business instead of a home. It is. I have seen so many people that were in businesses just hate this every single time. People would buy hotspots. People would buy all this kind of things because it just didn't make sense to pay for extremely slow business internet. Like it was just, it wasn't fast. It wasn't fast. If you were a small business, you have been ripped off for any internet you've ever gotten. Absolutely 100%. What T-Mobile is doing is you can now use these internet provided cell towers. They're basically cell towers that you put them and you have them, and they use T-Mobile's 5G. And I feel that if you have a mid-band 5G in your area, so if you're on T-Mobile and you're getting over 200 megabits per second or even over 100 megabits per second, you should definitely get on this for a business, like without question. Because what that means is you are just paying the standard $50 a month instead of whatever astronomical plan that current, AT&T, Spectrum, all these different companies have been ripping you off on. It is such a big thing for small businesses and something that like I've seen way too many businesses get ripped off. So this is just such a big thing. It really is, and I can't understate it. This is probably one of the greatest things to happen to small businesses ever. And I don't know if Verizon will also adopt this with their 5G, internet that they're providing now. But this is such a big thing, such a big thing. So I am super happy that T-Mobile is doing this because this is something great. Oh, by the way, they'll also pay cancellation fees if you have any cancellation fees from an internet provider. I think they were like something like pay off up to $300 or something like that. So yeah, that's the other thing that up to 500. They'll pay up to 500 for your existing IP to leave them, just like they used to with cell phones. So yeah, this is awesome, guys. This is just really awesome. Obviously, you have to have really good T-Mobile service in your area before switching to this. So utilize the test drive for 15 days. I did it about, I want to say, a year and a half ago, almost 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. And it was not good for me. There was no mid-band at the time, so obviously that has changed. My internet is much faster now than it was before. But that is just something to let you guys know. All right, and then the last thing is Fortnite is coming back to both iOS and Android through Xbox Game Cloud. So this is something that Fortnite is basically bypassing both iOS and Android. I think it's an awesome thing that they're bypassing both of them and their stupid policies to bring back Fortnite. Basically, Fortnite is going to be being able to load through Xbox Gaming Cloud. So I think that's awesome. I really am excited for that. So I think it's a really cool thing that finally getting Fortnite back. Not that I play Fortnite, I honestly don't, but I think it's just a really cool thing to get it back on all these service providers that Apple and Google that removed it. When I don't see Epic as a great person overall, don't get me wrong, but at least they got the ball rolling on getting developers better pay, even if they don't always pay them themselves better, but whatever. All right. So yeah, so that is the news, guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask it in the comment section down below, and I will answer it before the end of the show. But that was a lot of news we had to go through, a lot of different things. So yeah, we'll get to your questions now. All right, let's get to your guys' questions. Sorry if there's any lag right now. That is the next thing I want to buy. Before the end of the year, I do want to get a new laptop. I have just been waiting. For those of you who either saw me on Intel's live stream or any of the other stuff I've done, the one thing I'm waiting for in a new laptop is a Type-C connector that's 240 watts. Because I will probably get a gaming laptop for sure again. But the really cool thing is to have one that is fast charging enough to have the new Type-C bricks, so you don't have to get these proprietary big bricks that you have to get with other providers. So that's what I'm really waiting for, and hopefully it'll come out by the end of this year. All right, your intro video sounds really low. Sorry about that. I'll try to improve that for the next show. Apple's version of Dex is coming to iPad this year, I'm hearing. That would be very interesting because I don't know how Apple wants to play that, because Apple has been very transparent in the fact that they do not want their iPads to replace their Macs, right? So that's why you don't have touchscreen Macs, and that's why you don't have iPads that have a more desktop-like experience. So giving a more desktop-like experience would be very different. So I'm very curious to see how that would go. So yeah, very curious to see that. WWDC is about a month away from now, so we'll find out there. I like my S22 Ultra. Cool. Yeah, I love mine. I would still say the best phone on the market right now, S22 Ultra, or the Note successor. I'm still not sold on the S22 Ultra, willing to wait for next year to see if they get a bigger battery. Place S Pen on the right. What do you say? Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. I think I told you why they didn't place it. It's because the cameras are right there. So this, they had more room compared to this, which had the cameras in there. It was too tight of a fit. That's why. I don't know if we'll get the pen on the right side, where I do like it better as well, but that's the reason. That's the reason they did it, was because of the fact that they couldn't fit it. That was just it. The cameras have gotten bigger since the previous Note, and it was just it was either shrinking it down a little bit or just making it easier on the manufacturing to make it more mainstream. Remember, these sell a lot more compared to the Note series, so they thought like, okay, well, this will help manufacturing to have less issues, essentially. Hi Rick. What do you think about WrestleMania Backlash tonight? I thought it was pretty cool. Unfortunately, my son was a little bit sick, so I did not get to watch the whole thing. Love the beginning match. Cody versus Seth, to me, was the best match of the night. The 6-man tag at the end was cool, but I don't know. It's hard to get involved in a 6-man tag and feel any kind of like, oh my god, the stakes are big. I definitely thought Bianca should have had a match. I didn't realize that she didn't have one till they were like, oh, okay, yeah, she doesn't have one. And then Becky even posted on social, hey, when I was the champ, we always had a match. Ronda versus Charlotte, still didn't care. It seemed kind of interesting, but that's when I was kind of going in and out. But yeah, still didn't. They were like bringing back spots that Charlotte and Sasha had already did. That was a doomed match, in my opinion. That it just, like, I don't care about those two fighting each other. I don't. They should never do it again. Hopefully they never will. But I've never cared about it. Wow, I haven't been here in a long time. I miss watching your channel. Hey, well, I'm glad you're back, man, and hopefully you can stick around. Let me know if you have any questions. Is there a way to get secure folder for the Samsung Tab A8? If it's not built into it, no, I don't believe you can force it in any way, because it is a security function that's built into the tablet, meaning it's actually a hardware function from oh god, what do they used to call their encryption software? It was before Dex. I was gonna call it Dex, but I was like, no, it was before Dex. It was oh, I can't think of the what Samsung security feature used to be called. Um, but basically, it was a chip that was built into the devices that allows you to do secure folder. So that's why it's completely separated from it. So I don't think if it doesn't have it built in, I don't think you can do it. The two things that I would recommend is one, seeing if it's on the Galaxy Store, and then two, seeing if you can find it on a website like APK Mirror, seeing if you can let yes Knox. There you go. Thank you guys for everyone knew it in the chat. I was like, what the hell? It was before Dex. Knox, Samsung Knox. So Samsung Knox basically was their security software and what they called all their business software, and that's where Secure Folder came from, was Samsung Knox. So that is why I don't believe you can just sideload it. Try it. That would be the main way I would try it, is first going to the Galaxy Store, then going to APK Mirror, and seeing if you can get either one there for Secure Folder. But again, I just don't believe so, because it's in the settings. So it's not even like an app you download. It's actually in the settings itself. So yeah. Did you see Doctor Strange? Yes, I did. I saw it twice, actually. So I did see Doctor Strange. The one thing I will say, as a parent, I do not recommend it for anyone 10 years or younger. Like, I feel like I can confidently say that like, my son is obviously 2.5 right now. I plan on starting to show him the Marvel Cinematic Universe at the age of 5, right? Like, start him on the path, Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, Captain America, Avengers 1, all of the movies. Iron Man 2 is in there too. So show him the movies, right? Definitely plan on doing that. However, this is the Doctor Strange 2, the Multiverse of Madness, is probably the one movie I would say, like, even if it takes us a year, 2 years to get through all of the MCU up until Endgame, we can start to watch some of the Disney shows after that, right? Again, it might take but I don't think I would feel comfortable showing my kid this until he's closer to 10, if not 10, just because, this is, and I don't think this is a spoiler, because it's just telling you what genre it is. And what I mean by that is Guardians of the Galaxy is a sci-fi movie. It's a Marvel movie, but it's a sci-fi movie. Captain America and Winter Soldier is a prime example of an espionage movie. It is a, for sure, legit, like, spy movie. That is what that movie is. Sometimes some of these movies are just spectacle. That's all they really are, right? Homecoming was a coming of age story, for sure, right? So yeah, all these things are different kind of movies sometimes. Moon Knight was like a mystery kind of series. So there are lots of different ones. Some of them are just comedies, like Ant-Man. Ant-Man is a pure comedy. So yeah, there's lots of different types. This movie, Doctor Strange 2, is a horror movie. And I fully say that. It is a thriller, you could say, because it's a little bit more action-oriented. But when it gets to the scary parts, it gets to the scary parts. And yeah, I've been in 2 theaters with it. And I saw people excited, happy, all this kind of stuff at the pops part, right? People, and then just like mortified, what the F, all this kind of stuff when it goes down. Like, people are like, oh, and plenty of jump scares, which again, in a Marvel movie, you're like, what? I've never seen that in a Marvel movie. But yeah, so that's just the advice I would say as a parent. I would say I would not take my kids probably 10 years and younger, unless I want them to sleep with me that night because they're scared and they're going to have nightmares otherwise. So yeah. But did I like it? Yes, I really did enjoy it. Out of the group I was with, more than not, people did like it. Some people didn't like certain scenes. I, for one, did not like a one scene, and after my wife saw it, she didn't like the same scene. So, but some people debate on this scene online if you look at forums right now. So overall, though, I would definitely recommend it. I really do like it. All right. But yeah. Hey, yeah, check out thank you, Quietstorm. Check out, if you haven't yet, the Jedi tech build video, as Quietstorm called it. Basically, it is a computer desktop that yours truly built that Newegg is doing a giveaway on. So Quietstorm left it in the group chat, but if you haven't entered, it's a free desktop that's worth thousands of dollars. It is literally worth double what my laptop is. So yeah, it's an amazing desktop. It has amazing quality parts, just top of the line. It would allow me to work 3 times faster easily than what I currently do now. Like it's an insane desktop. So yeah, I would definitely recommend checking it out if you haven't already. It's a free entry to give away this desktop. So if you get it, hey, I would be more than happy if the person that wins it is one of you guys that watches my video. So that would be really cool. Link is in the chat, the Quietstorm left. Samsung gave me the phone. It was a hell of a deal for me. What phone did they give you? You said Samsung gave me the phone. What was the deal they gave you? Eric, how do you feel about Samsung QD OLED? It's super bright. Would you ever get one? Yeah, well, so when I was selling the house, there was a legit offer that I got that a person wanted my TV. They wanted it as part of the selling. So, you know, in real estate, a lot of stuff is negotiable, right? So they were like, we'll give you this offer, but we want your TV. We want your TV. So that did get me kind of thinking, like, okay, if I would give my TV up, you know, I just bought the TV last year. If I would get this TV up, what TV would I buy? And obviously the QD OLED was one that did catch my attention because, you know, it's a really new technology, and I love new technology, right? I'm all about new technology. So it was something that I had thought of. I was like, man, you know, should this be something that I should be checking out? But what kind of stopped me is that this TV specifically is a TV that does not have bigger screen sizes. So what do I mean by that? Right now I have a Neo QLED 4K TV from last year. So really good TV, awesome, extremely bright. Everything I would want and need in a mini LED QLED 75-inch TV. The thing is if they do have it here or not. Let's see. Oh, do they not have? Okay, so they do have it listed, but so here's the thing: the new Samsung TVs, the OLED TVs, the QD OLED TVs, are only coming in at 55 and 65 inch. So for me personally, that kind of eliminates it. Just because of the fact, if you look at, I mean, this one has a sale right now, but I mean, you can get an 8K Neo QLED for roughly the same price. Now, would you benefit from 8K or not comparing to? Maybe not, but that right there is kind of like, well, is the OLED worth it? You know, $500 more from that OLED, I can get a Neo QLED 75-inch, 22, you know, so, or even actually probably at this one, yeah, this one's even cheaper. So for this one, I can get a Neo QLED 75-inch. I think this is actually the upgrade of my current model for $2,700. It's $200 cheaper than the OLED. So for me, I'm at the point where I did get a 75 inch, right? So for me, the OLED is kind of eliminated for that reason, simply because of the fact that I wouldn't want to get a smaller TV at this point. Quite frankly, I have thought about in my new home, I am going to, my plan that my wife doesn't know about yet. So obviously this could be all moot. But my plan is to essentially have a TV, a living room that's kind of like a home theater style. Like I have a front row of leather seats where everyone would be, and then I have another back row with a lift that everyone could sit in. So essentially it would be like home theater kind of style seating. But what that also makes me want to do is maybe I need an 85 for that. So I don't know. My usual go-to thing to upgrade my TV is to sell my current TV, so that way I don't have to pay a huge cost, and I don't sell it like to Samsung, right? Although I haven't really seen what their trade-in offers, because they have had some trade-in offers for TVs in the past. Doesn't always work well, or doesn't always look that promising. But say for this one, just for argument's sake, say this is a TV. Yeah, say this one, right? So say this is the new TV I want. Well, I obviously would wait till it's on sale. So let's say it was closer to like 2,500, so $300 off. 2,500, right? I would try to sell my current 75-inch Neo QLED, and I would try to sell that for maybe 1,500. So that way I'd only be paying $1,000 effectively towards a new TV. And that would be a much easier thing to do, of course. So that's my usual way to upgrade my TV when I need to. So yeah. Oh, I did already take away the screen. Sorry. But yeah, so that's just, I was just talking about the pricing of it. All right. Let's go back to your questions. Yeah, I've seen commercials saying it may be too intense for some scenes. Yeah, I would for sure say that. Let's see. Other than specs, do you recommend buying the second version of the Razr if it's a good price? Just so I'm clear, the way you typed in Razr was Razor. That is the way you type in Razr for the Razr laptops. Did you mean Razr as in Moto Razr? Because that is RAZR. That's just because there's razors to shave. There's Razr as in the computer company with the snakes and the green. And then there is Razr as in the Moto Razr. So those are all three different ways of spelling it. So I just want to make sure you're talking about which one. I'm assuming you're talking about Moto Razr just because we were talking about it earlier, which again is, for future reference, no O. So it's RAZR for Moto Razr. If you are saying, would it be good to buy the second version if it's a good price, how good of a price are you talking about here? Because just as an example, let's just see on Amazon right now. If I type in Galaxy Z Flip 3, so $899, $679, right? This is what, probably a renewed, I'm guessing, version. Yeah, renewed version. Still $679 for a renewed version. And that's the nice looking white one too. That was a nice looking two-tone. But even if I wanted to get a brand new one, $899, maybe even cheaper. I mean, some of these are down to $599, $509. This one is a US version. This is a renewed one, but for $599. Okay, let's check out the Moto Razr. Moto Razr 5G was the second version. $999, $699. I mean, that's a really good price for 300. But that's kind of my point. You can actually get a Flip 3, which is better in pretty much every single way compared to the Moto Razr for cheaper. So, yeah, in all honesty, you could get it for the nostalgia factor, you can get it for the cool factor, but the Samsung really was better in every way. And if you don't believe me, go see the person that loved this phone more than anyone else, Mr. Mobile. Mr. Mobile did a long-term review or re-review, or I forget what he calls it, of the Moto Razr 5G, and he wanted to love it because of the look, because of the nostalgia factor, and he used it for like a year. So, yeah, he went with it for a long time, basically only because of the look. But even he said, you know, if he would recommend one, he would definitely recommend the Samsung one over it for anyone else. So I get it, that the whole nostalgia pop is definitely something, but that's about it, I would say. All right. Let's see. My question is, did you know the video was 6 minutes and 6 seconds, similar to Order 66? I will say that that was noticed by several people. That's all I'll say. Whether it was purpose or a happy accident, I'll let you decide, but it was definitely noticed by a couple of people before we published. So yeah. I fell asleep watching the pay-per-view. Was it good? I mean, if you fell asleep during it, kind of answers the question, doesn't it? But no, I thought it was okay. I just, there wasn't, with the exception of maybe two storylines, there wasn't a good story going into any of them that I would say. I think that's what kind of made it kind of, Tech Guy Theater. Yep, Tech Guy Theater coming near you. Speaking of Apple, check out the 51st Day questions. Yes. Yeah, so I will do the shameless plug of the week, and that is for 51st Day questions. It is an app that I created that I would love for you to download. It is a great time for a first date or for a person you've been with for over 10 years. You find out what's going on in their head. They find out what's going on in your head. You find out if you're compatible or still compatible. If you don't like each other's answers, you should definitely get a divorce after this. I'm not saying that in any way, shape, or form, and I'm not responsible for your marriage, but I'm just, that's just a thought. But yeah, overall, I would definitely say it's a great time and a great thing to do on a first date, or again, just with your significant other. You'd be surprised by some of the questions you get after all these years. And if it's first date, you really do find out if you're compatible or just this isn't going to work. 51st Date questions available in the links in the description down below or in the chat from Quietstorm. The only thing I like about the... what? Didn't mean to do that. Sorry. But Holiday is saying the only thing I do like about the Moto Flip is the bigger screen in the front. I totally understand that. But from the new development that has been made with the screen on the Flip 3, unfortunately it happened after I stopped reviewing it. But it was something really cool that the Moto Flip 3 had added to it, so you can actually make the widgets more useful and more usable. So that was something that I would definitely say, sorry, it's kind of hot in here. That was something that I would definitely say is something that upgraded the Flip 3 to be more on par with the Moto. So yeah, how hard was it to make the app you created? So when I say I created the app, I basically was more of a manager, you could say, throughout the process, and obviously the owner of it. So basically, I first had a thought process of how the gameplay would be, um, and I had sketches and little designs and all that kind of stuff, and I wanted how the gameplay to swipe down, so you really felt like you were swiping the card. So I had someone first design the cards, then I had someone design the gameplay, and then I had someone design like the icons and all that. So it was three different creators that actually created it, with basically my guidance and kind of all right, how about this? And like, no, it needs to be this, and this, and this, and kind of doing that back. So I didn't do the coding for it, and I'll always admit that. But basically, I commissioned it to be made. So, although I would love to know coding to do that kind of stuff, but it is something that is just out of my reach. I tell my daughter all the time she should learn coding, and I think she will be able to design things like apps way better than I ever had the chance to. So yeah. Um, do you think Wanda could defeat the Justice League? Yes. Yes. Um, Now, to be fair, it's Wanda. If you know the Scarlet Witch's powers, so one, she can totally be killed. It's not like she has like special skin, or if you kind of can get to her with a surprise attack, say if you're going at light speed like Superman, for instance, or even I think Quicksilver has actually killed her in the comics, even just because he was going so quick, right? Um, because of all that, uh, say it really is a big thing that it is she can be killed and she could die. The But the thing is while she doesn't have a great defense, she has arguably the most powerful offense there is in comics, as at least as one of the big ones. Like, if you don't go into like Celestials, the Tribunal, all the big hitters, the gods among gods, right? If you don't go to that extent, she easily, with Reed Richards' kids, is the most powerful being on Earth in the not in the MCU. Well, probably in the MCU too, but she is definitely the most powerful being in the Marvel comic universe, for sure. She just, I mean, with one phrase, right? No more mutants. She got rid of like 90% of mutants. So yes, she has a lot of power. So could she defeat the Justice League if the Justice League didn't surprise her and do so much offense? Yeah, she could. I mean, the only one I would think could stand a chance would possibly be Superman, but the others would be dead. Like, the others would not even have a chance. So yeah. And the reason is because she can change reality. So, like, even with Superman, right? She could make the sun red. He loses all his powers. It's just that simple. Like, she can make the Earth sun immediately turn red because she can warp reality. That's the Scarlet Witch's powers. So I definitely, as strong as she has been in the movies, as strong as she has been in WandaVision, it is nothing compared to the comics and her actual abilities in the comics. But still, could she defeat the Justice League? I would say yes. I would definitely say yes. Could multiple people in the Justice League kill her? Yeah, too. Like, that's the thing. Her offense is all powerful, whereas her defense isn't as powerful. The one thing I will say that I hope we do get to see somehow down the line in the next 10 years is the Phoenix versus Wanda. That would be so cool. That is like, oh man, that would be awesome. That would be a really cool battle to go down. I mean, I think, even with like Tony Stark and Captain America gone for now and everything like that, I think we will eventually see the X-Men versus the Avengers. I truly do believe that in 10 years time from now, that will be an event, which will be really cool. How do you enter to win? If you go to that video, it actually has it in the description. It's a landing page that you land on Newegg's website, and you get to enter to win. You got lots of different ways you can enter so you can win. So yeah. Hi Ricky, why is Google Chat messages so slow to text? It's been glitchy. So I switched back to an iPhone 11. iMessage says faster to send text. So couple of things there. Which one do you mean? So what I mean by that is there is Google Chat, which is an instant messaging service, which basically you need the other person's email in order to contact them, and that's pretty much instant. You're not getting more instant than that. It's an instant messaging service from Google, encrypted, all that good stuff. So yeah, that's Google Chat. Then there's Google Messages, which is a text messaging service, which if you have another person that has an Android, uses RCS on both sides, so the text messaging will be amazing. If not, you definitely want to change something on Google's messages that says if it doesn't go through RCS, send it via SMS. I see that that's off by default on Samsung's latest phone. So on the S22, for instance, it is not on by default, which I found very weird. So I would recommend turning that on definitely, so that you don't have messages that don't go through. But yeah, those are the two different kinds of ones you could mean. And Google Chat, though, I've never had a problem with it. I use it on a daily basis, and I use it to send myself things. So like, if I don't want to use Nearby Share and just which I can't from my work laptop, I will send it to myself via Google Chat, and then I'll have it on my phone, and then I can use it for whatever, whether it be text, whether it be videos or photos. It comes out really good quality. Videos will be a little bit compressed, so that I might upload to something else, or use Samsung's Quick Share, which is by far the best still. So yeah, those are the different things. So yeah. If you've ever seen The Boys, I think Homelander would kill Wanda, LOL. So again, that's a very interesting thing, because Wanda could completely kill Homelander. Completely. Like, she could easily kill him. Like, he's not even a threat in terms of, can she kill him? Absolutely. Could Homelander kill her, though? Absolutely. And he's, vicious enough to kill her too. So yeah, that's the thing. It's the biggest thing with it. So this is always the funny thing that people tell me. Yeah, like, oh, but one of Superman's biggest weaknesses is magic. Yes, but he's never been killed by a magic user. So how much of a weakness is it? He doesn't have protection against magic. He has no, like, in terms of a physical attack, right? His physical body is much stronger to take a hit. So he just, he heals very quickly. He doesn't have much issue. He can be burned, though, by fire. It's a magic fireball. So that is why he finds magic very irritating. But, and I could be wrong about this. I could be totally wrong about this. But I do not believe Superman has ever been killed by magic. Although he doesn't have a defense towards it, he doesn't necessarily have a way of like defending himself against magic. I've never at least seen him be attacked by magic that he could kill him. So yeah. But so that's my thing. When it comes to Superman and magic, I think Wanda manipulating reality is far more of a thing that she could literally just, oh, The sun's red. You are weak. Dead. Explosion. And that would be it. So yeah. Um, I have no idea what you mean by that, Alex. So I won't answer that. I just got an M1 Mac Mini paired with a Samsung Curve 27-inch monitor. It looks great. I wanted the Samsung M8. What do you think about Samsung and Apple combination? Hey, man, I think it's awesome. The Samsung M8, which is so funny because everyone is comparing it to Apple's new display. So Apple had a new display that was much cheaper than their first display, and everyone is comparing the M8 to it, which I think was unfair because MKBHD especially, he kind of pointed it out, but he kind of pointed it out way later. The M8 was announced in CES, so it wasn't a response to Apple's screen. It was something way else. So yeah. But yeah, that's the one thing that I would say is that it really is something that I think is so cool when you can combine the best technology, and you don't need to be that. To me, what the coolest part about that is you're not necessarily locked down into Apple's garden, at least to the point where you can get a regular display that is awesome and really cool. I have the big Samsung 49-inch from like 4 years ago as my curved monitor. So yeah, really awesome. So yeah, it's just a really cool part. But I love it, man. I think that combination's awesome. I myself am debating on getting an M7 for the new studio. We'll see if it happens, but definitely something I'm looking at for sure. Which keyboard do you use on your phone and why? It's funny because I, for a full 2 months with the S22 Ultra, I was using the Samsung keyboard. I was like, I'm using it. It's not that bad. I really am getting used to it. I will use it. And their clipboard is amazing. The clipboard in Samsung keyboard is amazing. But here's the thing. Here's the thing about that, right? It's the reason why it's really, at the end of the day, I've always gone back to SwiftKey. SwiftKey is the best keyboard on Android, I believe, by far. It's great on iOS too, although it's so limited because it's Apple. But definitely, I will say that in terms of a keyboard, SwiftKey I've gone to back to every single time. It is the one on both of my phones right now. It is the one on my tablet. SwiftKey is just the one I always go to because there is no better keyboard when it comes to prediction. Now the sad part is Microsoft bought it a couple of years ago and has not done anything with it. Like, they have just done nothing with it. Nothing good has come from their purchase of it. And it sucks because like the developers were really good about always coming up something new, and they didn't do it. So yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, so the SwiftKey is still, I've Google and Samsung, I've tried them both. I've tried the Samsung one, like I said, for 2 months. I tried the Google one when I got the Pixel 6 Pro for a month. Every single time though, I go back to SwiftKey because there is just no better keyboard at predicting my text than that one. Wonder Woman's weakness is cutting weapons, but she's not likely to defeated by that. I mean, well, Wanda can literally create cuts. Like, Wanda's reality warping thing means that she could pretty much like pull someone apart that is normally too strong to be pulled apart. Like, it's she can change reality. I don't know how more to put that. She can make an immortal mortal. Like, she can change reality. That's why she was the most overpowered person for sure. So yeah. LOL, it was a meme, nothing bad, I promise. Got it. I'm just not familiar with that. Oh, Haas, was that like a Hasselhoff thing or something like that. Yeah, I'm not sure what meme this is from. Got it. Okay. Yeah, I don't see where the original meme is from. But yeah. Um, all right. Keep Ricky talking about comics. Yes, you can talk about all day. Oh, yes, it is 9:30. I should be getting off soon for sure. Which Marvel TV show are you excited to watch in the future? I would definitely say the one that I'm most interested in right now is She-Hulk. Just because I think that's a really cool thing. It's going to be a lawyer drama, right? And it's going to have Bruce Banner in it. It's going to have a couple of other people that we probably haven't seen for a while. But that one I'm really excited for. A lot of people have been ranking all the Disney shows, and I don't know what's my favorite. And it's funny because from what I've seen, WandaVision specifically is so polarizing. People either put it at the top or at the bottom typically. And Hawkeye is pretty much everyone's like least favorite, which I thought it was okay. Like I didn't think it was bad. I will say the one that is kind of forgettable to me now is what do you call it? Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like I loved that show when I saw it, but like yeah, I don't know. I don't remember it necessarily being great or bad in that sense. So I feel like that would be middle for me. I liked Moon Knight. I did not like the season or series or season finale. We don't know yet which one it is. But I thought it was a really fun one. It was something very different, and I love old Greek and Egyptian mythology, so I personally liked it probably for that reason more. Um, but yeah, She-Hulk is the one I'm probably most looking forward to. Miss Marvel comes out in a month already, so that's kind of cool. It's already like I love that Marvel kind of keeps cranking these out. So yeah, I'm really excited to see how that turns out, and I'm really excited for the new Thor movie. That one I'm just super psyched for. So I really am excited for the new Thor movie. That one I'm really excited for in terms of movie. Black Panther 2, I have to see a trailer for it. I still believe, and I could be wrong, and I'll if I'm wrong, I will absolutely say I'm wrong by the end of the year. They should have recast him. They should have recasted him. I think the character is too important. So yeah. But yeah. I think Perpetua from DC and Wanda would be great. Yes, see that is a really good match. Perpetua would be very good. Especially but like so Perpetua should be more powerful than Wanda because again that's the god among gods, right? I said like if we're talking about just regular kind of powers or the most powerful being on in the Marvel Earth planet, it would go down between Wanda and between oh god I forget his name, Reed Richards' kid, Franklin I want to say. But yeah, it goes down between those two. Her friend is Franklin Kang. No, Kang's a grandkid. I even mix up my stuff sometimes, but yeah, some pretty cool things. Perpetua has the ability to alter reality on a universal scale. Exactly. So that's why I think Perpetua should beat Wanda, because even if you think about it, like Perpetua gave, but then again, so Perpetua did die from, or that's getting into recent comic spoiler territories, but Perpetua did die, obviously. If you know how she died, someone gained enough power to kill her. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting. But yeah, so all this kind of stuff is interesting in that aspect for sure. But among like just the Earth planet in the Marvel, Wanda's top two, I would say, for sure. All right, guys. But with that being said, I think we will call that a show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, this is the last time I'll be in this studio. It's been an awesome run since 2019. Have been in this studio, and it should, yeah, it should be really a cool new experience. I thank you guys always, like honestly, thank you from the bottom of my heart, as cheesy as that sounds, for continuing to view, continuing to watch, continuing for all that kind of stuff. It really is such a cool thing to be able to talk to you guys and everything like that. I know I need to give you guys more videos, and I promise to do that as soon as I get my new studio set up. It's been a hell of a process being the real estate agent on the sell and purchase of my new house, on everything that I have going on, still having a full-time job, still doing all this kind of stuff. And I'm not saying that as an excuse. It's just, believe me, if I could have the time to do more videos, I would. And I'm really going to try hitting the ground running in the next 3 weeks. The next 2 weeks. The next 2 weeks, I'm really going to start trying to just crank them out as much as I can for you guys and have a lot of videos. I owe you guys a lot of videos, and I will try to live up to that. So yeah. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, it will be an awesome new experience. 2 weeks, we will have a new set, a new area, and hopefully it'll look as great as I think it will in my mind. Thank you guys always so much for watching. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy.